You know what they don't tell you when you move in with your girlfriend? That your smart speaker might end up smarter than you. Let me set the stage. One-bedroom apartment, third floor, cracked tiles in the bathroom, air conditioner that moans like it's haunted. Real starter pack stuff. I work nights, graveyard shift at a distribution center, so I come home when most people are dreaming about vacations they can't afford. My girlfriend, Becca, works from home doing fitness content. Translation: she owns 3 ring lights and posts squats in slow motion for people who still use Facebook. We met at a buddy's barbecue. She liked my arms. I liked that she laughed at my jokes. We started living together 6 months later, mostly because her lease ended, and I was too nice to say no. Fast forward a year, and we're sharing bills, sharing a bed, and supposedly sharing trust. Supposedly. It started with a song. I came home one night around 2:30 a.m., kicked off my boots, and heard something weird. Soft music playing in the living room. Now, normally, I wouldn't care. Becca liked falling asleep to music sometimes. But this wasn't her usual lo-fi beats or whale noises. This was a slow jam. Like, full-blown, 90s, let's light a candle and make mistakes R&B. I figured she left Alexa on by accident. Said, "Alexa, stop," and the apartment went quiet. Didn't think much of it until it happened again. And again. Same song. Same time. Every few nights. Now look, I'm not the jealous type. I'm the tired type. Most nights, I walk in half-dead and microwave dinner while my spine reconsiders its life choices. But even in that state, something started to feel off. The 4th time I heard it, I didn't stop Alexa. I let the song play, sat on the couch, listened to the lyrics, and tried not to spiral. Becca was asleep in the bedroom. Door shut. Phone screen dim through the crack. The next morning, I asked about the music. She laughed. "Oh, that? Probably just one of my playlists. Maybe I left the speaker on." "Funny," I said, sipping coffee. "Alexa's been playing the same song at midnight. Every time." She shrugged. "Weird. Must be a glitch." "Glitch? Sure. The kind of glitch that only happens when I'm not home." That night, I left for work early and on a whim, checked the Alexa app on my phone. I'd set it up months ago. Never used it. But it still had admin access. I pulled up the activity log. It showed every voice command made in the last 30 days. You know what I saw? 11:57 p.m., Alexa, play our song. 11:58 p.m., repeat. 12:14 a.m., volume up. And here's the kicker, it wasn't my voice. I played it back. The app records short snippets sometimes. And this voice? Male. Slightly raspy. Kinda smug. Not me. I stared at the waveform like it might confess something. Then I played it again. And again. Just to be sure. Definitely not me. So there I was, sitting in the employee break room with fluorescent lights humming overhead, listening to some other guy tell my smart speaker to play their song while I hauled boxes and pretended everything was fine. I didn't get mad. I got curious. Next morning, I waited until Becca was out jogging or filming fitness content, which these days could mean anything, and started poking around. Checked her Spotify. Nothing unusual. Then I asked Alexa out loud, "What's our song?" She answered immediately. Between the Sheets by the Isley Brothers. Of course it was. The gold standard of bedroom betrayal. I pulled up the command history again. There were more voice clips. Sometimes different songs. Once, I even caught, "Alexa, dim the lights." Cute. Real cute. It all painted a picture. A romantic one. A routine. Like muscle memory. That's when I noticed something else. The commands usually happened right after she posted her late-night recovery yoga live stream. Which meant she wasn't just home, she was technically on camera. But her camera only showed a yoga mat and a fake plant. Everything else? Wide open. Including our living room. And apparently, whoever she was inviting over. But here's the part that really twisted the knife. I recognized the voice. I couldn't place it immediately, but it tickled something. Familiar cadence. That casual tone. Like someone trying not to get caught, but still comfortable enough to talk to Alexa like it's a wingman. I started making a list. Friends. Neighbors. Coworkers. Gym guys. One name rose to the top, Marcus. AKA, her gym buddy. Tall. Muscular. Posts shirtless mirror selfies like it's a job. Becca claimed they barely talked, outside of workouts, but I'd seen his name pop up on her phone more than once. She always said it was about training schedules. Right. I didn't confront her. Yet. I decided to test a theory. That night, I left for work, but I didn't go far. parked my truck a block away, and walked back to the apartment through the alley behind our building. I stood near the dumpster with a hoodie up and waited. Sure enough, around 11:50 p.m., a car pulled up. Headlights off. Door opened. Out stepped Marcus. I could have gone inside. Could have stormed the apartment and made a scene. But that's not how this version of me plays. No, I had something better planned. I gave it one more night. Then I started recording. There's a point in every man's life where he realizes he's not crazy, just observant. And for me, that point came exactly 32 seconds into listening to Marcus tell Alexa to set the lights to 30%. I recorded that audio like it was gospel. I'd spent the night parked in my truck, sipping gas station coffee and waiting for the perfect moment. The apartment building was dead quiet except for the hum of distant traffic and the occasional drunk guy arguing with a delivery scooter. From where I sat, I had a perfect view of our third-floor windows. Becca always left the blinds cracked just enough for aesthetics. Romantic ambience, she called it. In reality, it was the dumbest defense system ever. I watched the lights dim right on schedule. Then came the music. Not just a song, their song. Between the Sheets. Again. The same damn slow jam I'd been hearing for over a week. I played the Alexa voice log through my phone, side by side with the audio I captured from outside. Perfect match. Same timing. Same voice. Marcus. That he's just my gym friend guy. Turns out the only squats he was spotting were on my couch. Still, I didn't storm in. I could have. Oh, I wanted to. But that would have given them the satisfaction of making me emotional. And Becca? She fed on emotional reactions. If I gave her a meltdown, she'd spin it into a redemption arc, paint herself as the misunderstood soul who made one tiny mistake. No thanks. So I waited. Next morning, I got home just before sunrise. Becca was already awake, sipping her green sludge smoothie like a guilty Gwyneth Paltrow. She looked at me like I was a stray dog she wasn't sure she'd fed yet. Hey, babe. You okay? You're home late. Traffic, I said. On the night shift? I smiled. Yeah. Garbage truck flipped over on the overpass. She blinked. Oh, wow. That's awful. She didn't believe me. I didn't care. We played the awkward small talk game while I pretended not to notice the fact that our living room smelled like cheap cologne and guilt. Her phone buzzed twice. She flipped it over both times. I noticed the lock screen had a new wallpaper. Not us. Just a quote. Protect your peace. Sure. After you violate mine. That night, I didn't go to work at all. Called out. Took a personal day. Spent it at the kitchen table with my laptop, Alexa logs, and a plan. Step 1. Isolate the voice commands. I downloaded every voice clip where Marcus said something incriminating, not just the song requests, but the ones that made it intimate. There were several. Alexa, dim the lights. Alexa, turn on fireplace sounds. Alexa, play Between the Sheets. Alexa, loop this track. Alexa, volume up. Alexa, set timer for 1 hour. 1 hour. Disgusting. Step 2. Convert the audio to clean, crisp MP3s. Step 3. Cue them up into a seamless playlist, spaced just right between fake applause sound effects and dramatic piano chords. I titled the file, Happy Anniversary, Becca.mp3. Step 4. Schedule it. That's the thing about smart speakers, they listen and obey. I used a smart home script to schedule the playback through our Bluetooth speaker system, synced with Spotify, so it wouldn't show as an Alexa playlist. She wouldn't even know it was coming until it hit. But timing? That was the key. See, our anniversary was coming up, the 1-year mark of living together. A milestone she wanted to celebrate with a few close friends, including Marcus and his fiancée. Oh yeah, she actually had the balls to invite them over. Said it was low-key, just wine and takeout, nothing major. When I asked why Marcus and his girl were on the list, she said it'd be weird to leave them out, and that they're like family now. Family. I told her it sounded great. The trap was set. Over the next few days, I played the role of perfect partner. Cleaned the apartment. Washed dishes. Even bought new candles. Becca practically glowed. Told me she was glad I was choosing to heal. Said she could feel us getting stronger again. She had no idea she was dining on a landmine. The night of the dinner, I made sure everything looked perfect. Wine chilled. Food ordered. Table set for 4. Even folded the cloth napkins like we were hosting a cooking show. Becca looked radiant, of course. That smug, glowy kind of pretty women get when they believe they're fooling everyone in the room. Marcus showed up exactly on time, His fiancée Kayla trailing behind with a bottle of rose and a compliment for our IKEA centerpiece. Fake smiles all around. Dinner went smoothly. Too smoothly. Everyone talked like nothing was simmering under the surface. Becca toasted to growth and honesty. I nearly choked. And then came dessert. Chocolate lava cake. Kayla went to the bathroom. Becca raised her glass. This has been such a beautiful year, she said, locking eyes with me. Through all the ups and downs, I'm just grateful to still have this love. I clinked my glass with hers. Then gave Alexa the signal. Alexa, play the anniversary playlist. The room went quiet. Then, Alexa, dim the lights. Marcus blinked. Becca froze. Alexa, turn on fireplace sounds. Kayla returned from the bathroom, confused by the moody lighting. Alexa, play Between the Sheets. The song began. Slow. Sultry. Marcus's face turned the color of raw chicken. Becca dropped her fork. Alexa, loop this track. I took a sip of wine. Whose voice is that? Kayla asked. I let the silence stretch. Then the final clip hit. Alexa, set timer for 1 hour. Becca stood up. Kayla stared at Marcus. Marcus tried to speak. I looked at Becca and said, Happy anniversary. There are moments in life when silence does more damage than yelling ever could. That dinner table? Dead quiet. Like a crime scene before the sirens. The only sounds were the soft hum of the Bluetooth speaker and the smooth, treacherous notes of Between the Sheets. I didn't even need to say anything. The music was doing all the heavy lifting. Kayla was still standing with her mouth open, holding a napkin like it was a hostage. Becca? She was stuck somewhere between denial and full system crash. Her face had that glossy, frozen look people get when they realize their dream sequence just turned into a nightmare. I almost felt bad. Almost. Marcus sat with his hands in his lap, staring straight ahead like a substitute teacher pretending not to hear the class calling him names behind his back. He didn't even blink when the line, Girl, I want to be alone with you, came through the speakers. Then the audio clip looped again. Alexa, dim the lights. That's when Kayla spoke. Is that your voice? She was looking at Marcus now, not me, not Becca, just him. Zero expression, like she already knew but needed to hear it out loud to make it real. Marcus swallowed hard. It's not like that. Becca finally snapped out of her trance. It's taken out of context, she said. Dean's been messing with the Alexa logs. This isn't real. You can fake those now. I almost laughed. Fake it? Oh, sweetheart, you faked everything. I just pressed play. Kayla didn't sit down. She turned toward Marcus, eyes narrowing. You said you barely talked outside the gym. That's what you told me. He opened his mouth. Closed it. Tried again. Look, it wasn't planned. Okay? It just happened. Becca's eyes went wide. Marcus. But he kept going. And bless him, he tried the dumbest defense imaginable. It only started a couple months ago. She said things with Dean were dying. That it was just physical. She said it in front of all of us. I sat back in my chair and crossed my arms, watching the entire facade melt like ice cream on a dashboard. Becca lunged. Are you serious right now? You're just gonna say that? Marcus shrugged, suddenly brave now that the secrets were out in the open. You told me you were gonna leave him anyway. Because I was venting. I didn't mean for you to say it out loud in front of them. Kayla didn't say a word. She picked up her purse like a robot and walked toward the door. Kayla, wait. Marcus jumped up to follow her. She turned at the threshold. Don't. That's all she said. Then she walked out and didn't even close the door behind her. Becca chased after Marcus halfway down the hall, whisper shouting like someone trying to hide the affair even now. I just sat there, letting the next line of the song play. Girl, I love you all night long. Becca stormed back inside after a minute, slammed the door, and turned on me. I cannot believe you did this. I stood up, slowly. I cannot believe you thought I wouldn't. Her jaw clenched. Her hands shook. Not with guilt. With rage. The kind of rage people feel when their lies get caught in 4K, and they can't spin it. This is manipulative. This is sick. You humiliated me. I walked past her and picked up her phone from the couch. Unlocked with her face while she fumbled to stop me. Let's check the texts, I said. Want to see how not physical this was? Give me my phone. I tossed it back onto the cushion. Already did. She grabbed it like I'd just thrown her a grenade, tapping at the screen like she could somehow delete evidence with raw speed. You know what? She snapped. We were already falling apart. You're never home. You sleep all day. You stopped trying. There it was. The classic cheater's script. You made me cheat. You were distant. You gave me no choice. I wasn't mad. I was tired. I walked to the kitchen, grabbed the cake knife, and sliced right through the lava cake she insisted on serving for dessert. Want some before you pack? I asked. She flinched. I'm not going anywhere. You are, I said, calmly. And you'll do it tonight. You can't kick me out. My name's on the lease too. I nodded. True. But your name's not on the Wi-Fi, the electric, the streaming services, or the smart lock. So we can do this the fun way, or the F******ing inconvenient way. She stared at me, and for the first time, she realized she wasn't holding the cards. You're such a child, she muttered. Then it shouldn't hurt losing me, I said. She stormed into the bedroom, yanked open drawers, started stuffing things into a duffel like she was packing for war. 15 minutes later, she was at the door. I hope you enjoy being alone. I shrugged. Alexa seems to. Door slam. Silence. And just like that, the apartment went back to peace. A strange, tense, satisfying peace. Like the air after a storm. I walked over to the speaker and paused the music. Time to change the playlist. You'd be surprised how quiet a one-bedroom apartment feels after Betrayal walks out with a gym bag and no shame. No more midnight voice commands. No more ring lights or fake yoga sessions. No wine bottles left half-drunk on the counter. Just silence. Blessed, echoing silence. I didn't realize how much noise she made until it was gone. First night alone? Slept like a rock. No dreams, no tossing, no midnight guilt sweats. Just 8 uninterrupted hours of dead silence. Woke up the next day to sunshine and the smell of my own damn breakfast, not some detox omelet made with fake cheese and positive affirmations. But here's where things got fun. The consequences hadn't even started yet. See, Becca didn't just cheat, she cheated with someone who had his own secrets. And if there's one thing worse than being exposed, it's being exposed in front of someone you were lying to too. Let's rewind a bit. Remember Kayla? The fiancée who left without a word after Marcus's voice started serenading the room through Alexa? Yeah, she wasn't just heartbroken. She was furious. And very, very loud about it. I found out the next morning when my phone blew up with notifications from a local fitness forum. Becca and Marcus were semi-active in a niche workout influencer community, nothing huge, just a couple thousand followers and some cringy branded protein sponsorships. But Kayla? She dropped receipts, screenshots, messages, voice notes, even a few blurry security cam clips from the gym parking lot. She outed them both, tagged their accounts, exposed the affair, and let the internet eat them alive. And boy, did it. I watched it all unfold from the comfort of my couch, coffee in hand, TV on mute. One post read, just found out my fiancé has been cheating with his gym partner for 3 months while planning our wedding. Here's the proof. Another one? When the side chick is also someone else's girlfriend, enjoy the screenshots. And the kicker? She posted the audio files. Not all of them, just the juicy ones. Alexa, dim the lights. Play our song. The timer command. They spread like wildfire. Someone turned them into a TikTok remix. Another account synced them to a slow-mo video of Becca doing squats. The internet has no chill, and I was loving every second. Becca deactivated her socials by noon. Marcus tried to defend himself for about 20 minutes before he, too, disappeared from the internet. Their little fitness brand? Gone. Their shared Google Drive with client routines? Locked. The linktree in Becca's bio now led to a 404-page. I got a text that afternoon. Becca, are you seriously just sitting there watching this happen? I read it 3 times. Then replied, nah, I'm standing. Better angle. She didn't answer. That weekend, she showed up at the apartment building. I watched her from the peephole, hoodie up, eyes puffy, like she hadn't slept since the lava cake. She knocked twice. I didn't open the door. She knocked again, longer this time. Then finally said, Dean, I need to talk. I walked into the kitchen and turned the faucet on. Let the sound drown her out. Then I went back to the door, waited another 10 seconds, and said one word. Alexa, play Irreplaceable by Beyoncé. She didn't knock again. 2 days later, I got a message from one of Marcus's gym buddies, guy named Jason. We'd never talked, but he apparently followed the whole scandal and decided to reach out. Dude, you're a legend. You should see the group chat. We've been calling it the Playlist Massacre. That made me laugh out loud. He sent me screenshots. Memes. Someone even made a mock movie poster with Becca and Marcus's faces edited onto a romantic comedy titled Unfit to Commit. The tagline? They shared more than reps. I saved it, printed it, pinned it to the fridge. It felt good. Not in a gloating way, okay, maybe slightly in a gloating way, but more in that rare, quiet justice kind of way. The kind people always say doesn't happen in real life. Turns out it does. You just need a smart speaker and better instincts than your partner. Work became easier, too. No more dragging myself through shifts wondering what was happening at home. No more pretending I was overthinking. My boss even said I looked lighter. "You cut sugar or something?" he asked. "Just toxins," I said. My coworkers got wind of the story. Someone pulled up the TikTok remix during break. I didn't confirm or deny anything, but I let the rumors swirl. I'd earned the mystery. Meanwhile, Becca tried reaching out again. This time, a full-blown email. Subject: "You won. I hope you're happy." 3 paragraphs about how humiliated she was. How people she didn't even know were calling her names. How Marcus ghosted her. How she lost 2 sponsorship deals. How no one deserves this much punishment. She ended it with, "At least now you can say you got revenge. Congrats." I hit reply. Didn't do it for revenge. Just needed the music to match the mood. Then I blocked her. She moved out of the city the next week. I know because her sister DM'd me to ask if she could pick up a few things Becca had left behind. I handed over a single box. Inside, a half-used candle, a yoga mat, and a Bluetooth speaker. No charger. Let her buy her own. Some people learn their lessons. Others just change cities and bring the same baggage. Becca? She was firmly in the second category. I thought I was done with her after the speaker-in-a-box farewell and the TikTok remix funeral. But no, she wasn't done with me. Because toxic people don't like endings they didn't script. And she was still convinced she deserved the final word. It started small. A text from a number I didn't recognize. "Hey, just wondering if you're doing okay." Blocked. Then a week later. "I miss our routines." Blocked again. After that, silence. For maybe 10 days. Just long enough for me to believe she'd moved on. Then came the bomb. She showed up at my job. Now, I don't work in an office. I don't have a desk with a photo of a golden retriever or a little Zen garden with pebbles and a rake. I drive a forklift in a warehouse that smells like cardboard and sweat, and I like it that way. So when Becca walked into the front lot, wearing oversized sunglasses and pretending not to be embarrassed, it was about as subtle as a marching band at a funeral. One of the guys from shipping radioed me on the walkie. Dean? There's a chick asking for you." Real tense energy. "She yours?" I sighed. Not anymore. Still, I walked out. Mostly because if I didn't, she'd probably make a scene. And I wasn't about to let her tarnish the only part of my life still untainted by her playlist of lies. She stood by the entrance like she belonged there. Like she wasn't the subject of a dozen internet memes and a viral thread titled, "Alexa, play Regret." "Hey," she said, small voice, like we were back to inside jokes and sleepy cuddles. "What are you doing here?" I need to say some things." I crossed my arms. "Email exists." "I know, but you weren't answering." "There's a reason for that." She bit her lip, the same dramatic little move she used whenever she needed something. Like rent money. Or forgiveness. "I'm not here to fight," she said. "I've been thinking a lot." And I realized. I didn't just ruin us. I ruined me. I waited. She kept going. I lost everything. My platform. My clients. My dignity. I was stupid. I know that now. But I'm working on myself. Therapy. Journaling. All of it. She paused, searching my face for a crack. "I just wanted you to know. I'm sorry. I should have felt something. A flicker. A twitch. But nothing landed. It was like hearing a rerun of a show I'd already deleted from my watch list." "Okay," I said. She blinked. "That's it. What else do you want?" "A redemption arc. I thought maybe we could talk sometime. Start fresh. Just as friends, maybe." That's when I laughed. And not a cute chuckle. A full, tired, almost sympathetic laugh. "Becca," I said, "you don't want to be friends. You want the version of me who still liked you. He's not here anymore." She flinched. "I made a mistake," she muttered. "No," I corrected. "You made a series of decisions. That's not a mistake. That's a resume." She stepped back. Her mask cracked, just a little. "You've changed." I upgraded. Then I turned around and walked back inside, leaving her there in the heat, under the judgmental glare of a security camera that I really hoped had a wide enough angle to catch the full drama. Thought that was the end? Nope. 2 days later, I got a message from Marcus. Yeah, that Marcus. Because clearly, the universe wanted to test my patience one last time before I earned peace. The message was short. Yo, you free to talk? I almost deleted it. Then I didn't. Because curiosity is a hell of a drug. We met at a coffee shop near my place. Neutral ground. He looked rough, puffy eyes, stubble, clothes that didn't fit like they used to. The man had been through a breakup and a public shaming, and it showed. I'm not here to start anything, he said, sipping a black coffee like it was medicine. I just wanted to say thanks. I blinked. Thanks. He nodded. If you hadn't blown it up, I'd still be lying to Kayla. Still sneaking around. Still thinking I could juggle everything. I tilted my head. So, I helped you find your moral compass. Something like that. I'm in therapy now too. Actually working through some stuff. I stared at him. The same guy who couldn't spell integrity if you spotted him the first 7 letters. Now sipping espresso and quoting growth. Good for you, I said. He leaned in, serious now. But that's not why I asked to meet. Of course it wasn't. He pulled out his phone and slid it across the table. A video played. Becca, sitting in a dim room, speaking to a webcam. I've made mistakes, she was saying, but I want to take control of the narrative. A link appeared at the bottom of the screen. At Rebuild Becca New Beginnings. Fitness. Forgiveness. Real talk. She was trying to rebrand. She built a new profile. Different handle. Different look. Softer filters. Less makeup. More natural light. She was reintroducing herself as a wellness influencer who had survived public humiliation and grown from it. I handed the phone back. So, she's using the story. Our story. Yours. Mine. Kayla's. Of course she was. That's what narcissists do. They survive anything if they can repurpose it for attention. She's even talking to some podcast people, Marcus added. Selling it as a healing journey. I smiled. Oh, let her. Marcus looked confused. You're okay with that? More than okay, I said. Because what he didn't know was this. I'd already been ahead of her. Weeks ago, I'd submitted the full Alexa logs and story thread to a digital rights creator on YouTube. One who specializes in storytelling content. Voice acted, dramatized, anonymous but juicy. They'd already started producing it. Guess who narrated? Me. Guess who gets royalties? Also me. And guess who has legal licensing rights over the audio files? Take a wild guess. Let Becca rebuild. Let her pretend. Let her spin the story however she wants. Because no matter how many ring lights she buys, the truth is already out there, in high definition, with voice logs and timelines and timestamps. And the best part? It's titled, Alexa, Play Cheaters Playlist. I always thought revenge would feel like fire. Turns out it feels like silence, the kind of silence that doesn't ache. No tension. No ticking bomb under the floorboards. Just still. A couple weeks after my coffee chat with Marcus, I got an email from the content licensing company I'd partnered with. Subject line. Performance report. Alexa, play Cheaters Playlist. I clicked it with one hand, already sipping my morning coffee with the other. I wasn't in a rush. That's the luxury of peace. You stop chasing reactions. Inside? The numbers were beautiful. Over 2 million views on YouTube. Clipped and reposted on TikTok. Threads on Reddit dissecting the story like it was a Netflix miniseries. One guy even asked if it was part of a new scripted podcast series. Nope. Just my life, apparently repackaged and revoiced by a dude with a deep baritone and better storytelling instincts than half of Hollywood. The email continued. Your content has generated significant engagement across all platforms. Please confirm preferred payout method. I grinned. Confirmed. That check, modest, but meaningful, was poetic. Paid back in digital karma. Paid for every lie I tolerated. Every weird, just a gym friend, excuse. Every insult wrapped in passive-aggressive positivity. But I wasn't done yet. See, Becca hadn't stopped trying to control the narrative. Her new profile had gained traction. Rebuild Becca had somehow grown to 40K followers, most of them self-help types who swallowed every quote like gospel. Her feed was full of yoga poses, avocado toast, and tearful confession clips captioned with lines like, "Sometimes you have to lose everything to find yourself." She even did a collab with another wellness coach who went viral for leaving her husband to marry her truth. And maybe that should have bothered me. Maybe I should have wanted to shut it all down. But no, because I already had a better idea. The YouTube channel that licensed my story had plans for a follow-up. A series, actually dramatized true betrayal stories submitted anonymously. They asked if I had more like it. And wouldn't you know it? I did. Not just the Alexa logs, but the texts, the voice notes, the call recordings I'd grabbed from shared devices while she was asleep. All of it. I documented everything not for revenge, but because I didn't want to forget how obvious it all was once I finally started paying attention. They wanted exclusive access. I gave it to them. Under a pen name. They cast an actress to play Becca. Blonde, fake cheerful, voice like syrup. They cast me too, well, a voice for me. Calm. Flat. Sarcastic. The kind of guy who's not heartbroken, just done. It blew up even more than the first one. Comment sections exploded. He's a legend. This is the kind of petty I aspire to. How dumb do you have to be to forget Alexa records everything? I watched it all quietly. I didn't share it. Didn't repost. Didn't claim it. Because power doesn't need to scream. But here's where it gets interesting. A month after the series dropped, Becca did a live stream. I wasn't watching it live. I never followed her new account, but someone sent me the recording. She was crying. Real tears, mascara and all. She looked tired. Sounded tired. She said she was being harassed online and accused of faking her growth for clout. She didn't name me smart move, but she did say, "Some people are profiting off my past, turning it into entertainment, twisting the facts just to make a buck." No, sweetheart. Some people just stopped pretending. In the comments, her followers were split. Some defended her. Others asked questions she clearly didn't want to answer. So was it your voice on the Alexa? Is this about the playlist guy? Did you cheat or not? She ended the live stream early. Her next post was a blackout square with the caption, "Logging off to protect my energy." Of course she was. I didn't say a word. Just watch the ripples. The collapse. The influencer brand unraveling under the weight of its own fiction. Meanwhile, I was doing just fine. Work was steady. Sleep came easy. I even started seeing someone casually, nothing serious. She asks questions. Laughs at my sarcasm. Doesn't own a smart speaker. I like that about her. One night, while we were watching something on TV, some true crime doc where the husband's clearly guilty by episode 2, she looked over and asked, "Do you ever get paranoid? Like, about being lied to again?" I thought about it for a second. "No," I said. "Not paranoid. Just smarter." She nodded. Didn't push. Later, when she was asleep, I walked into the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and glanced at the Bluetooth speaker sitting on the shelf. Still connected. Still ready. But this time, there was no playlist waiting. Just silence. Exactly how I wanted it. Subscribe to the channel